Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Unsealed and Revealed. This is our third episode. How exciting is that, everybody, right? Are we excited? I think we're all excited. With me, as always, two of my absolute favorite people. Of course, on the ones and twos, dealing with all the social media hype and dealing with your questions, comments, and concerns. We've got Autumn over here. Say hi. She said hi. I didn't need to tell her.
I'm ready.
And over at the main table, what you tuned in to see, my man Guy Klender, 6th scale expert. Guy, welcome back. How you doing?
I'm doing great. This thing is incredible.
He
I
can't
can't wait to show it to you.
I asked you how you're doing. You immediately want to jump to the toys.
I just want to play with toys.
I'm super stoked to be able to do that. Guy, what are we bringing today?
Okay, this is the Sideshow exclusive Marvel Spider-Man Scarlet Spider Suit. This is from the recently released PlayStation 4 video game.
Yeah.
So let's just dive right in.
You want to get in there?
Let's get in here.
All right. Look at that box, though. Take a look at that box.
Top box art. The Spider-Man himself is lifted, very thin, high gloss, but gives it a little bit of depth where the rest is a flat or matte finish. But it's back to the magnetic closure, opening up to our window box.
There's a lot going on in there, huh?
Over on this side here is going to be all of our cast and crew, which we've said before. We're kind of glad they're
we said that last week.
They're getting back to that.
And I do want to sort of address that. I love that Hot Toys and companies in general are giving credit to the artists and artisans that are putting these things together. I think that for a long time it's just been, you've been sort of another brick in the wall. And now these people are getting the due that they deserve. And I'm really stoked about that.
So, I tend to always take mine out from the bottom. You're going to have the two tape dots, one on top, one on bottom to release it. So we're going to do that, and then we're just going to set the box off to the side here for you guys to admire. Inside, we've got a couple of different
things. Are you like that
things.
with all your boxes, by the way? Do you put them off to the side on a display, or do you just...
No.
No, you don't?
No. There are a few that I've displayed. My Indiana Jones Hot Toys, I have 3 of him, but I only have 1 of the boxes on display. So inside the box, here's what we're going to have. Let's try and move these around. You get a diorama again.
We get another diorama.
We get another. Last week it was a lenticular. This is not.
Last week was big too.
Yes, correct. And there was some question about whether or not that would fit in the IKEA displays. That wouldn't, but this one will.
That looks like it'll fit kind of perfectly
Yep.
in there.
Yep. So that one there, and again, comes with the little stands that'll snap into the back to hold it. So
There is a question about the box.
Mm-hmm.
Is the box orange, or is that just some color on their monitor?
That's a bright red.
Yeah.
That's a monitor color.
Yeah, I mean we got yellow lights kind of flashing down.
Yeah.
To give it that.
Hopefully, when you see the figure and we take him out and you can see the suit, it's really the same color as the suit.
Yeah, it's a very vibrant red. I mean, it's really, really kind of a strong. The box is gorgeous. It's utterly gorgeous. Like when I saw that when I walked in, I was very impressed. But I can see on the monitor it looks kind of Wheaties orange.
Yeah, it does. You're right. It does have the Wheaties. So, but Spider-Man, was he ever on a Wheaties box?
Probably not. That's usually for
he
real
should
people.
Be.
But
he should be.
You know, did he win the Olympics? Is he a decathlete or something? He could. He'd knock it out of the park.
He could. Yeah, he could be great. So, we get another quadfold instruction. And you love when I put this on the Lazy Susan. But the reason I'm pulling this out is the instructions this time are pretty darn important. So we're going to actually read them aloud like it was reading in class.
That's what we love. That's the first thing I used to do in Christmas, you know.
Is read the instructions.
You open the toy. First thing you do, you take about 20 to 45 minutes. You read the instructions.
Read all the instructions.
You make sure that you don't destroy.
Did you have your sticker kit? I had like Q-tips where I'd cut off the cotton part so I could just have it as a press.
Really?
Oh yeah, and I had my X-Acto. I had magnifying glasses just to make sure I put that sticker on. Correctly.
I was a wildling.
Oh, you just hand
I remember
pulled and
one year I got a Spider walkable spider from the He-Man thing. I filled it with pennies on Christmas morning. I don't know why I did that.
That's toy abuse, folks. If you know somebody that's doing that.
My dad's like, well, I guess it's a bank now.
Yes.
It's an unusable thing.
So let's get into it. This figure is a brand new articulated body, but also brand new material used for the suit. And with that comes some specifics and some warnings and instructions.
With great suit comes
great responsibility. Yeah, and we're going to talk about where you're limited and such with that. So I want to first talk about that. Let's remove the top here so you can kind of look down onto the figure itself while I read these aloud. His suit, Scarlet Spider kind of created his own suit. He had a red suit, but he chose to do a blue hoodie, which I believe the character shoplifted, and I think so, and had spray painted over it. This sweatshirt is
Zach, you
not
pull it
removable.
a little bit closer to the center.
Yes.
There
Yes.
we go.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get that.
That sweatshirt is not removable. Okay. And neither is the belt. Let's take the figure out. And
Don't
kinda-
get cheeky with the toy. Come
Don't
on,
get
everybody.
cheeky with
That
it. Don't get
belt
cheeky.
stays on. That hoodie stays on.
Lift that up.
Yeah, the plastic comes off.
Plastic does come off.
The galoshes.
If we can get a shot of the head there, we get to put the hood up if we would like. However, we are instructed by Hot Toys in their instructions that avoid direct contact of the hooded vest with this head sculpt for long periods of time. Otherwise, the color of the fabric may transfer onto the figure. So
it's going to be more of a purple spider than a scarlet
exactly.
spider.
So again, this is a new warning that we're getting, but I'd prefer to know it now, later on.
That seems like a weird display choice to have him wearing just the hood.
Wearing just the hood up.
Yeah, like I don't remember the Scarlet Spider really focusing too heavily on the hood. But
I
if you
don't
want to. It's
But yeah, it's an option. I'm not going to be displaying mine that way. I kind of like the loose and open. There is a wire in it, so we get that kind of flexibility and posability. So I can drop it down so it lays a little more naturally and tight.
There are a couple of
Yep.
questions.
Go right
One
ahead.
of them is this the body type? Is it the new jointed body or the previous design for jointed body?
According to Hot Toys, this is brand new. It's a newly designed suit and fabric, as well as a newly designed body.
Okay.
So we'll talk a little bit about that and how it works.
Okay. The other question is, does the mask come off?
No. Next warning.
Okay.
Oh, there it is.
Again,
Your old manual.
Yep. Truthfully, that's why I said this time we're going to be reading the instructions, and that is caution: eyepieces are not detachable. Do not try to take them off, otherwise the head sculpt may be damaged. No, it most assuredly will be damaged.
Don't rip the face off of the face.
The indicated parts are non-detachable, and they point to the eyes as well as the wrists, anklets, and the sweatshirt. I'm going to take the plastic off of that in just a second. But those are a non-removable. Do not do it.
Plastic pieces.
Correct. This is not like the other Spider-Man where we had the multiple eyes that we could change. We're not doing that this time. This is a standard set look on him.
The other question was, is the head sculpt plastic or fabric over?
Nope, this is a plastic, but it is really very difficult to tell.
Like, it looks like
It
fabric.
looks like it's the same. In fact, I thought it was at first, but it's not.
I am loving that about the new sculpts and the new texturing that they're doing on stuff that you can't tell literally until you touch it.
Yeah, you can't tell.
If something is fabric or if it is plastic, and I really get stoked on that.
Next up, in your warnings, again, we talked about the warnings, is how to use the webs and how to use the specific hands. Okay, you have a number of different hands with this one. I'm going to sit our guy down here for a second. And then we're going to go back to the box because I want to pull the pieces out and show them off as well. So here we are in our box. We have the two hands that he comes with.
Darn. Look at
Yep, 4 additional ones. We have our fist hands,
He's got 10 hands.
our traditional web shooter hands, more of our splayed hands. We have a 2-finger pointing left hand, and what I found with playing with it to be the most important one is a right hand kind of grasping hand. This is also the only one with little holes in it. I'll hold that up later and we'll show it to you a little bit more. In the top here, we have our spider web loop that he can kind of grasp in that special hand. I'll show that off. His cell phone, camera. We have our stand down below. Let's put this on the turntable next one.
There it is.
This one there is kind of a fun piece, and we're going to show you more what you get to do with that one.
Web splotch.
The web splotch. I like that, the splotch.
It's a splotch, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If we were to look up the textbook definition of splotch, you'd see that.
Some more of your accessories in a removable tray. Lift those up and out. Underneath, protected in foam, are going to be your extra webs. We're going to set that next to that one there. And then below that is the grip for our stand. Okay, this is again one of those dynamic stands that we've seen come with some of the other Hot Toys. Snap in, lock on, and clip. I don't use them too much, but if you want him, you know, airborne.
Yeah, I guess if you want him jumping and doing a
but I do think it's, you know,
pose.
but it is a neat thing to have. So let's take a look at the webs. I want to pull those all out. Again, they're protected in foam, and that is because, yes, they are a little bit fragile. So, want to talk about how they work. You're going to have, lay these out here on the turntable. Put these up forward so we can see.
Look at
Okay, on the upper, you have two standard with the large kind of glob.
It's the in motion.
The
webs,
in motion prior to
pre-splotch.
Pre-splotch. It's pre-splotch.
We have a pre-splotch.
Two of the long straight ones, and then this one that can go into the gripping hand as well.
For a swinging. So if you want to do a swing.
If you want to do a swing pose. Now, this is in the instructions, but we're going to obviously show it off here. With the splotch, splotch. That can only be used with very specific ones, and that's going to be these longer straight ones. Be careful. Be gentle, don't force it. But again, there you go. And so now we see the long straight one. This is in your warnings as well as what you can use that with. According to this, attach the interchangeable hands as shown. Web strings in different lengths are attachable to the hand and web shooters. The spider effect, web effect accessory can only work with the long, narrow cobwebs as indicated. So only with the long ones, and this is also considered one of the long ones. So if you wanted that kind of
like swinging from a building
swing splooch.
Oh, okay. So you can use it in kind of a two different direction
Boom.
situation.
Swing splooch. Since we have that here, we're going to get into the hands. This is the right hand that I spoke about that I said was its most important. Okay? It's the one that's got a little thumb kind of up, and there actually is even a divot. I don't know, can we get in tight enough to see that?
Oh, we can get in tight enough to do anything.
Go as tight in as you can on there, because there's even a divot in his thumb.
To get a little grip on it.
To get a little grip on it. But the important part is this is the only one of the hands included that's going to have a hole all the way through. Okay? And this is going to be used when we talked about a swing one. Again, be gentle, but it'll go through.
Yeah, it's designed to go through.
It's good. Yep, it's designed to go through. The hole goes all the way through it. There, as so.
I love how creative they got in doing these webs. That they're finding ways to recreate poses that I did not. When I was a kid, my Spider-Man came with like a big, massive piece of webbing that you would shoot out, and he had no elbows.
Exactly, and that was it.
And now we have things where it's now this 3 pieces of webbing goes together.
Yeah, it goes together to create this.
Yeah. In 10% of his hands can hold on to this specific thing. I mean, that's a fascinating thing to do. Like it's really, I'm jealous of the sort of ability to
kids today. They get to do all this stuff.
They get all the cool stuff.
So this is probably my favorite of the webs, and that is kind of the lasso or version that we'll put in.
Oh, look at that.
Okay.
I was wondering where that was going to go.
It is open, and it is pliable. One end, and into one end into the other. But the thing is, you can mount this either way.
Oh, so you can make your decision however you want.
Now, one thing about the webs that is of note is they do not link together. So you can't make one 7-inch super web.
Which probably best if you're,
it might be best to
if you're
not.
putting it on display. You don't need this thing.
You don't quite need it.
Yeah.
Now let's attach a web to one of the wrists.
Do it. Attach that web.
Attach it.
Get it in
Here
there.
we go. Boink. So I can attach like so, and we're going to use our splooch. Like so.
And that would be best to sort of put up against the surface.
Yes.
To have that, you want that splotch
Yep.
to be sort of touching some, like right there. There you go. Look at that. He's webbing up his own. His own
display box.
Well, I guess we can't really see that on the camera because of the angle.
Well, but you see.
You guys can take our word for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Trust us.
So that's that one there. The hands that come on the figure are actually also what I'm going to refer to as the accessory hands. This tells you in the instructions weapons and accessories and which hands to use. Well, thankfully they're all the same hand, and they're the ones that it comes with. So let's talk about the accessories. First, we'll move the webs off for the moment. If we have any questions, we'll try and get
I
to
do
them.
have questions, but they are about the body, so I'm hanging on.
Oh, okay. They're body questions.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we were talking web questions first.
Yeah.
Should we get into body before we do accessories then?
Let's see. A couple of questions are: is the body like the advanced suit Spidey? Do you have familiarity with that one?
It is similar.
Okay.
It is similar to it. I think this is again what we were talked about more about Sideshow pretty much redoing all of their bodies at the moment, and so this would be one of those. So it is similar to that.
And the other one is the bodysuit like spandex type fabric or rubber?
No, it is more of a spandex, but with rubber accent.
Okay.
This said that it is a brand new material.
Oh, look at that.
So what brand new material, I'm not sure.
That kind.
But this kind, space age polymer. Isn't that what it's supposed to be, space age polymer?
We're just noticing here.
You want to see America's butt.
He's got.
Okay,
real
I thought we
quality.
would get into this later on.
Look
but
at
we're
it.
going to do this right now.
Tush.
It is
Say quality.
a butt off between Captain and this guy here, and this is a tushy. I mean, it is a nice tushy.
I mean, that's a scientifically cloned tush right there.
Okay, we did a little bit of crouch posing, as you see.
Yeah.
Look at the fabric.
Stands great on its own. Fabric on this is incredible. Next up, we'll get back to those accessories, but you're asking about range of motion, and that's important because it is in your instructions and what your range of motion is on each of these. And could you push it? Well, I guess you could, but I wouldn't. One new point of articulation I liked, it's not necessarily a new point, but it really shows off on him and in these, and that is the toe. According to this, 40%. Oh, my goodness, I forgot to do this, folks. This was one I was really excited about. It is time for Tread Watch, because these shoes are incredible.
Look at that.
Okay, I'm sorry. Tread Watch, there we go.
Those kind of look like those shoes that have the toes.
Yes, these are the individual toe shoes, which are kind of fun. So, but not only do we have that full ankle move up and down on it. Let's do this one that's tighter to camera. Do we have that full?
But we get that good toe flex.
And we've got, again,
Side to side.
we talked about that ankle jointing, but bonk.
Look at that.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. Right, yeah.
And it makes for fun ones like so.
Yeah, that looks like, I mean, Spider-Man, I would say, as far as characters go, posability is something required by a Spider-Man character. Spider-Man's sort of flexibility and posability as a character, art-wise, has always been important.
Yes.
Starting, I mean, the whole time, but, McFarlane really building out the sort of flexibility of the character. And sort of now he's become synonymous with dynamic stretching and posing. And so it's important that a piece like this would have that.
Trying to get a few of those ultra dynamic and odd ones without having to use the stand. When you talked about those dynamic poses, let's get into posing the guy a little more. According to this, your arms, it's saying, don't go more than 90 degrees as a straight out. Okay? It has a 90-degree bend as far as waist, a 120-degree bend, which is kind of neat, on that arm. And what we saw on the other figure that we like so much, the 120 bend on the knee. Okay, so with this guy here, this is a figure I think you're really going to use these on. Okay, I went back and looked at some of the cover art and single frames for this character. Now, yes, this one's based on the video game, but I went back to the comic just to kind of look at some of the poses because I wanted to see could I recreate
a classic cover?
Yeah, a classic cover. And he's pretty darn close. He doesn't nail it, but it is much closer than we've ever got before. So that's what I want to show. Truthfully, more the limitation on what you can do. We get those knee bends. We can't get that America butt that we taught the splay. We can't get the rear end all the way to the ground any further than that. However, that is a pretty darn neat pose to be able to get.
Yeah.
Right.
To go that deep. And if you're going to use your stand, which you probably would with this one, you could also do the inverted.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the hanging Spidey.
The inverted hanging Spidey.
There was a question about the stand.
Yes.
Let's see. Does the base come with a stand for Spider-Man? Yeah, it comes with the dynamic stand.
Yep, it comes with the dynamic stand.
And
the dynamic stand clip, which don't get concerned like, uh-oh, they forgot it. It is actually underneath your webs. So you've got your accessories, webs, and then dynamic stand.
And for those who don't know what a dynamic stand can you just show them the flexibility of it?
Yes. Dynamic stand.
Oh.
Yeah.
Firm, adjustable. You'll just take, again, those small screwdrivers we talked about before, undo it, clamp in.
You pop the top off the,
Yep.
and then it slides right on. It's really simple.
You can do it either way.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yep.
And then Guy just found, he's like, oh, I guess you could do it that
Well,
way.
you can do it that way too.
Sure. Guy's like, I've just saved
I like
myself
to spend a
lot
little
of
more time with my toys.
I think we've gathered
So,
that.
You know.
I think that's a very obvious answer.
Well,
right there.
I have a puppy now, so I don't get to spend quite as much time with it. But
have you gotten any toys chewed up yet by your?
No, he has his
good
own.
Puppy?
He has his own.
Well, that's
But,
never stopped them in the past.
But not any 1/6. But yeah, there's your dynamic. So because we've got the dynamic stand set up and we talked about that,
You gonna do it?
let's do
You gonna do the pose?
our upside down. Spidey.
There it is.
I'm trying to do this while you're watching, so
Yeah, that's gotta be fun to pose them out like that.
it's a neat option.
The question that Brian has is, do the instructions say anything about leaving the suit in a dynamic pose for too long?
Yes, that's exact. In fact, that's really why I wanted to bring up the instructions, and I'm going to read this directly to. Do not place the figure in areas with high temperature and humidity, otherwise it will be damaged. Here's the one that might get you. Return the arms and legs to natural position to avoid material damage after prolonged periods. So, would I leave this in this pose for 6 months? I don't know that I would.
Yeah. What would you consider a prolonged period?
That's the thing. They're not telling us what the prolonged period is, and I myself don't think I want to push it.
No, you don't want to risk it?
Yeah. Again, this is new material, new body, things like that. It may be that
Might just be uncomfortable for it.
Well, yes, this could cause nausea and head rushes.
I would say
after a while.
so. Just the leg. I was thinking about doing that pose myself, and I was like, that would hurt for 6 months.
Okay, so the suit you asked about, is it a rubberized suit? No, it is more of a fabric suit, but it does have rubber on the feet area and some of the detailing is done. Rubberized up in the shoulder, and that's just the design of the suit. That's not a choice to make it a different fabric for a reason other than that's the look.
It has a very tactical look to the outfit.
Yep.
It does look sort of real.
Yes.
It looks like something you'd see being worn by like an ultra marathon runner or something like that.
This particular design, he has ammo pouches, which is how he carried his
cartridges
stuff.
And stuff, yeah.
Camouflage belt, and then he has the wrist with the additional web slinging stuff. I like that.
Question about the web slinging stuff.
Web slinging stuff.
Prince wants to know what material are the web shooters? Like
The webbing itself is plastic. Real quick on that, if I didn't say before, these do not have a wire in them. They are not a bendable thing. So that straight shot of what they are is what you're going to have. The one that has the loops and the spins in it is that lasso that we talked about. So the other is that they do not link together. Other than what we showed with the splooch, you can't put 4 or 5 together in there. So
don't.
So just don't.
Don't get cute with it.
Let's talk about the last part that is in your instructions, and that is that it's showing you which hands to use for these accessories. Well, they're the hands that come with it right out of the box. In fact, all of them are that. These 2 hands that he has right now are the ones with the most flexible fingers and the mobility on it. The others are more of a harder pose, okay? So with this one here, we're gonna just do the pizza in his hand. I can actually put it under the fingers. And he does come with a single slice.
I wonder if ever since Into the Spider-Verse, do you think every Spider-Man is going to have some sort of pizza?
I think so, and I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. This comes with, because you say the pizza, he comes with not only that slice, but the full pizza. Oh, that's neat. You know what? I didn't look at the bottom.
It's even got the little, like, the cookie,
that's
the
pretty
char
fun.
on it.
That's pretty fun. Can you see that?
It looks like
It's got and we'll point with web. It's even got the char and the cuts for the individual slices.
Yeah.
Okay, let's leave it on that upper view of the turntable if we could. Authentic New York pizza. Do I need to do that? Authentic New York pizza box. Yep, that's a highlighter mark that shows that this is indeed a pepperoni pizza.
Wow,
that's the detail you're getting on this one.
The detail into this is really and it's funny too because it seems like something that you wouldn't think. It's something you'd put in a Ninja Turtle maybe.
Yeah.
But maybe not this. But Spider-Man is such a quintessential New York character.
Yep. And
people from New York love talking about how great their pizza is.
Yes.
That why not have a classic slice
so let's
New
talk
York pizza that you can brag about on the internet about how pizza everywhere else
is horrible and it's a lot of the water and all. Being a Detroiter, we have our own style of pizza, and I like that. But I like all
Little Caesars, right?
Yeah, exactly. I like all pizza. But let's talk about, because we talked about New York specific accessories. This one here says authentic NYC pizza. If there is a store called NYC Pizza, congratulations, you got used for this. You got some
out for New York pizza.
There we go.
Comments.
Our chocolate glazed cake donut. Oh. Yes, I actually know the different types of donuts. This one here is coffee brew since 1962. Enjoy your cup of coffee.
It's even in that Greek style cup.
It's in the Greek style cup, and it has. That's okay. Can you see the lid on there? It even has the sipper lid.
Nice.
Look at that.
Even has a zipper lid.
Oh, I just hit a microphone with my head. I wonder if that got registered.
Thank you. So those are some of the accessories. Last two we're going to talk about here is his cell phone.
Nice.
It is not brand specific.
Can you hold that up a little bit? Can you
Yes.
angle it towards the camera so I can see what that...
Can you see? Okay. I did take a macro shot to be able to find out what is actually on his phone. It is his Instagram page with his number of followers.
Nice.
And also the weather, saying that it is New York City, 59 degrees and rainy.
Nice.
If that alters how you're going to display the figure, important to have.
I believe if it's a Spider-Man character, it's technically Raimi.
Yes.
Raimi out there.
Rainy.
Huh?
I like
Raimi.
it.
Do you get it? I'm not sure I get
Get it?
Could you explain it maybe?
It's Raimi.
Okay, that's clear now.
Now it's clear. And his last is this
Like
camera.
Sam Raimi.
Oh,
Oh,
now
yes.
we went to where we needed to go with
Oh.
that. And now comes with his camera as well. What I like about the camera is that he's got his own Spider-Man logo on his camera strap.
There it is. In case he gets lost.
In case he
You know
gets
who to get
lost.
it back
Oh,
to.
Eric would like to see the back of the cell phone.
The back of the cell phone, are you
Yes.
looking for brand?
I think so.
You are not going to find brand, but you are going to find the camera lens.
Shut the front door.
Look at-
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Exactly. So that's his cell phone that he comes with. The New York pizza, his New York coffee cup, donut, and the single slice. And then kind of the fun, traditional Parker edition is that camera. That's of all the accessories, I like this one the most. I just think it's a fun addition. Because
Yeah.
most everybody's using their cell phones now. Anyhow, would the character not just use that? But it's neat to have it on there and to have it themed out. So because we've got the accessories, let's do it in those accessory hands. Again, these are the ones it comes with. So let's just make this it's that kind of day. Coffee in one hand and cold breakfast pizza.
Hey, forget about it.
In the
I'm
oven.
from New York.
So, and I believe that's, you did the voice.
Yeah, that's Spider-Man's actual voice.
Actual
He's like,
voice.
hey, I got a slice and a coffee. Hey.
So there you go. Or you can do coffee donut. It's entirely up to you, and that's the beauty of it. So these are the hands you're going to use whenever you're going to do any of the accessories. Do we have any questions on accessories?
Most of the questions are okay. One of the questions is about the fabric.
Mm-hmm.
Does it go down the foot and on? Like, is it separate at the ankle, or does the fabric continue onto the feet?
Well, the fabric continues down onto the feet. And let's see here. Get a nice shot of that. Okay. I like that we have this as a pointer. It's going to continue up. If there is any seam, which I don't see, it is hidden by the ankle pack. And again, that ankle pack, don't remove it. You're not allowed to.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. It's against
Don't do
the
it.
rules.
It's like
But here, let's turntable that
Yeah.
again because
Yeah, it does. It looks like
Tread
looks like
watch!
he's under, whoa, tread watch.
Tread
Part
watch.
two.
Dun 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 dun. One of my favorite parts of the show now is Tread Watch. And I
Oh,
thank
we
the-
noticed.
I thank the fans for bringing that in there. So.
The other question is, how tight is the fabric in that extreme Spidey squat pose that you put in?
It wasn't. It wasn't very tight. And that might be why they're telling you to not leave it in a dynamic for too long, as it might actually become loose. It's possible that's the reason they're telling you that
Yeah,
is.
that was the follow-up question: is when they are warning against damage, like what kind of damage would you anticipate? Being
Well,
that
what we've had
situation?
in years past with tight suits and things like that is them kind of drying out
Okay.
and becoming brittle and breaking.
The
I don't see that that's, we're early in it. Would that happen?
Yeah.
I think we're trying to get away from that, but it's nice to have a warning saying, just be a little cautious.
The follow-up, again in the same vein,
Mm-hmm.
Nicholas wants to know, should we be worried about the fabric touching or sticking to itself during these poses? Is that a concern?
I didn't feel it sticking to it. I think, again, this is really dependent upon where you're displaying your figure. when they're bringing up in their caution things about, you know, sunlight and this and that's
Yeah, they're big on temperature and humidity too.
Temperature, humidity, sunlight, these are all going to be things that for any piece of art is an issue. So try to avoid those, at least direct. You know,
Yeah,
I wouldn't have them in my front window.
There is a request to once again for people who are joining
Yep.
a little late to see the hood on.
Yes.
And maybe remind them if they didn't see
Yep.
the beginning what
This
what
is
said
the
about it.
hood on pose. Inside you've got the wire. So
Oh,
let's
nice.
drop
So
that.
it's wired around the
It's wired around so you can give it a little bit more of a natural look, and those are individual.
I mean, I guess if you're going for dynamic posing too, you could literally
gravity shape.
use
Yes.
the kind of like flowy design by
Yes.
using the wires.
Yeah, it's neat when they do a bit of wire into a cape or a hood just to allow for that more natural look.
You can literally get the cords of the hood to go in the same direction.
In the same direction
like
you
he's
want.
swinging, yeah.
So this is really cool.
once
More
again-
importantly, they want to see the grease stain on the bottom of the pizza box.
You want to see the grease stain on the bottom of the pizza box.
Yes.
Why did I put the pizza box away?
There's multiple requests.
Guy,
You
know
know,
better.
I'm sorry, and myself at home, I'm going to display it with all of it. The person who asked this, were they aware that it came with this?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, man, that's a spoiler. You ruined it for yourselves. You ruined it for yourselves.
Look at that.
Um,
It is New York pizza.
yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
'Cause
It's
it's
got a
terribly
highlighter.
greasy, yeah.
It's got a highlighter as well as a grease stain. Yes, that's flipping great.
The detail put into this stuff is
Yeah,
unbelievable.
it's that little extra that we're seeing, you know,
Yeah.
with figures now. Okay, so back to this costume and the discussions about what can I do with it, or am I worried about leaving it in a dynamic pose? Well, you're going to have to change your display a little more often, I guess. Would be the thing to say. For those
you
just
should do anyway.
Exactly. For those just tuning in and wanted to see the hood up, it is in your instructions not to leave the hood up for too long on him, as it may indeed transfer color. What's interesting is this is a gray lining on the inside, as you can see there. See right there. But better yet there. So we're not going to see a blue. However, again, I'm going to take the warnings on these things to heart.
I mean, it's sort of like food expiration dates.
Yep.
You gotta follow them.
Yeah, it's probably best.
You don't want to go fast and loose with it,
Yes.
know, especially if it's such a great piece. You don't want to have that be a problem.
There's a quick question about the hood and the danger of since the hood is already over the suit, are you able to see any already immediate effect of the fabric affecting the red, or do you think it's
No, in fact, it does not come with it up like that. That was me doing it. If you tuned in.
But if you put it on right away, can you see an immediate
Oh no,
change?
nope,
Okay.
no, I do not. I do not see any of it. What I see is amazing texture on the hood of this.
I think mostly they're concerned about heat and humidity transfer of dye.
Yep.
Or
I think that they're saying, look, this isn't one. We don't take that blue sweatshirt and run it through the wash 55 times to make sure there's no bleed.
Right.
If you leave it in the sun and it heats up,
Yeah.
it's going to have an effect.
Got a little blue in your red there.
Yeah. So, okay. So let's work down from the head into.
Quick question
Yep.
before you move forward with the head. Brian wants to know. He knows you can't remove the eyes, but does the head itself come off? Is it removable, or is it all part of one?
It's it is a sculpted one, so.
Okay, it is separate. It's not.
It is separate, but I am not going to pull it off because the suit runs all the way up top.
Do the instructions say not to?
It doesn't necessarily say not to, but it doesn't tell you that you can.
Okay, well, if it doesn't specifically say not to,
Let's see here.
that's
Uh,
good to know.
It's probably
tells
best-
us not to do not to leave the hood on,
It's probably a good in your best interest to not be.
and it
heavy
says
on
not
this.
to. The eyepieces are non-detachable. Doesn't say pull the head off. I'm not going to, and I'm not going to do it here on the show. You people made me do that last time, and I'm still dealing with that emotionally. And I'll, have to deal with that. But I wouldn't pop it off because of this new fabric suit going up all the way to where I see the peg. I'm worried that you remove it for I'm not sure what reason.
You may displace place.
if you were to put it back on, I think it may affect the suit underneath, the underlying suit.
One more quick thing.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, would you, meaning you personally,
Mm-hmm.
would you say this is the most posable Spidey from Hot Toys so far that you've seen?
So far, yes. We are getting really close to stuff that Spider-Man had dynamic poses. Crazy stuff. And we're getting closer. I mean, we never would have thought we were going to be here 5 years ago. So who knows where we're gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Will we get it where we can have that rear end, an inch off the floor there eventually? But to be able to go
the McFarlane poses.
The McFarlane,
ones that
yes.
he really popularizes, adding the certain level of flexibility and stuff. I mean, this is a huge step forward.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
To be able to get down, anytime we can do a crouch or a sit pose that's more than 90 degrees on the knees is huge. And then to have the additional that 40 degrees on the feet to give us a little up and over. I'm not able to balance him quite like that till I can get him all the way down. But if I were to use that dynamic stand, I probably could. But it is neat to be able to do it. Yeah, this is the most flexible I've seen. Go slow in your poses to get it to where you want to be, because the suit, you'll want to fiddle with it a little bit so it doesn't bunch up. Particularly if we were to do an arm one real quick, we don't necessarily want it to.
It looks like you're showing off this severed arm,
stump.
his severed hand.
Oh, well.
We dropped it.
Yeah, we took that one off because I wanted to swap out another one, but we'll do it that way because I want you to see where you attach the webs on the slingers anyway. But let's talk about the fabric and the movement of the suit. You'll want to just give it a little movement to get it exactly where you want. I mean, if you look at the promotional photos and this and the other, and you're like, ooh, that's exactly the way I want to do it. Well, know that you're going to probably move the suit a little bit. It's not glued on. If there are specific points within this body that this suit is glued on, I'm not finding them. And it's probably going to be underneath the stuff that they're saying don't remove.
Paul wants to know, what features of this figure make it stand out from other Hot Toys Spideys, would you say?
Well, I dig on the accessories. I think it's a fun, comical take on the character, with being so city specific to New York. Here's that coffee cup, here's that pizza, here's the greasy pizza box, here's the burn on the bottom of it. Things like that. I think that's neat.
The details in the phone I thought were fascinating.
The details on the phone that shows how many followers is kind of fun. I think that's neat. Before, each Spider-Man is a constant evolution, not only in the films and comics with his suits, but also in the toys that come out with the suits. So I think this one is the suit you get in level 4 of the game.
Yeah.
I think it's a level 4 game thing. So, if there are specific ones people want me to do, we'll give it a whirl. I've always liked the ones where, as we talked about, the dynamic ones. Let's try and dynamic this guy.
So something like that with maybe him like slinging a web, yeah.
I'm gonna do a little hand swap.
Now, would you display, on your display, would you do a pose like this generally, or are you more of a museum
I'm
style?
a little bit more of a museum style. However, getting to do a Spider-Man in a pose like this is, whoopsie, sorry about that. Hopefully that's not too much emotional distress for you. But to be able to get that kind of thing, to be able to get, legs flying through the air and this and the other. Most characters don't really call for that type of thing.
There's not a lot of stretchiness.
a lot of call for it.
Yeah.
But this is Spider-Man is known for flight and a different.
And for losing hands.
Yes, and for losing it, and a different.
Never remove them.
But as a different style of flight, with our Superman or somebody else, it's a hands forward kind of that type. He was more gymnastic and acrobatic and those kind of movements, and so to be able to do something.
It looks like he's doing a plie right now, right?
Yeah, to be able to do something like that. If you try and do a forward straight on.
I know it's not a plie.
Fan is calling it the 110 hurdles.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
There we
The
go.
1/6 hurdles.
Now I've locked one on, and I've actually left this off on purpose so we can show off the slingers. Can we?
Now they're generally not supposed to come off. Is that right?
No, they slide on there. They're telling you not to.
Yeah. They don't want you to take them off.
Exactly. They're not glued on. There is a little plastic undershield under them.
Okay.
To protect it from touching the fabric, which is part of the packaging that we've seen before, which is why it's over the head and things like that. But I want to show how the webs get attached to the slingers. So, okay, you'll see that there's this one. There we go. There's the small hole. Only goes one way there. And then it'll be in.
And then he's ready to sling some.
And then
webs.
you're ready to go. I wanted to keep this off so you could see without a hand being in the way that there is only one little slot. And it is one on each side, but all of them fit in there. However, you need to do them, whichever one you choose to use.
Man, it's just the amount of stuff this comes with is so aggressive.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, let's do it all out. Let's just do it all out.
I'm going to tell you why this is one of my favorite shows to do. It's just because I get to watch a very happy man play with a toy.
Yeah.
And just the sheer wonder and fascination that you have of
playing with the toys.
You're just like so in it, and I find that very fun and very amusing. To just see you having a good time with this, tearing hands off, putting
them on.
The question coming in is, what museum pose would you put him in, and also would you leave him in the pose that's on the front of the box for very long? Like, would you leave him in
No,
the pose?
that's the front box art. I'm gonna say is dynamic, and I wouldn't do it. I would do it, but I wouldn't leave him in there for long.
It'd be fun toy photography projects. Like
Yes.
experiences.
So there we go.
Nice.
Fwing.
There it is.
What does that sound like again? I didn't.
Fwing.
There you
Is
go.
that the classic Spidey?
The classic Spidey.
Fwing.
Fwing.
Thwip, you say?
Thwip.
No, thank you.
No, it's a
Give
fwing.
me a fwing.
Give me a fwing. Let's pull him down to stand, just so we can show off the arm a little more.
That was funny.
Boom. Just the,
But I like it.
and it would stop its wiggle after a while. You can put it on your pizza box or whatever. I like.
You should have him webbing the pizza box.
You can, yes. We can have
He's
him.
on the
with-
couch. He wants
Yeah.
another slice. He
That's a
doesn't really want to
classic
get up.
Spidey
The
move.
classic Spidey
Yeah.
move is give me the pizza box. So yeah, I guess we could
There it is.
There it is.
attach some.
Look at that.
Oh, like so.
It's splotched on the
The
box.
splotched on the box. He's not gonna bend over. He's just gonna splooch it.
Yeah.
Just gonna
He
splooch
is
it.
flexible, but he doesn't want
He's
to
like,
be right
I am
now.
not leaning over to get this.
Wouldn't that be great if that was the pose that you went with?
So how is it going to be in my display case? This right here, folks.
Right there.
This
There it is.
No.
Okay.
Him walking his pizza. That's it.
Follow-up question on the pose.
Yes.
How long would you personally leave it in a dynamic pose compared to a museum pose?
I don't think I'd go for more than a month
Okay.
in it. Just okay. I have a feeling that if you are lucky enough to be getting this piece, or if you're on the wait list for it, I think it's one you're going to want to show off a lot more.
Yeah.
Whenever somebody comes over, this is one of your highlight pieces.
So when someone comes over, you don't run around and like vacuum and pick up really quick.
No,
Spend that
no,
time
you-
posing your
You
figures.
pose your hot
That's
dogs.
when you
Yeah.
take your microfiber cloth, which we've talked about before, and you're going to wipe down the front glass of your display cases So you can show it off. But no, I think he's one that's going to attract more attention. You're going to have a lot of people asking about him. So I think you're going to naturally wind up posing this figure a lot more. How much dynamic I'd leave him in, me personally, I wouldn't go for more than a month, I think.
Another question is that fabric across the chest looks very tight, Brian says. Is that just how it appears, or would you say it's tight?
No, it's snug. It's not tight. It's not going to tear. It's not restricting his waist movements at all. But this is where I feel they're probably attaching the suit. Remember, in those instructions, it says, don't remove this. It doesn't come off that way. So that's probably where there's some attachment to it. This sweatshirt fabric, not any tighter than the rest of the outfit.
Okay.
Than the rest.
Not any tighter than the spandex that's...
Than the spandex.
Yes.
Right. Not any tighter than the spandex that's on there. But this is a really fun one. I mean, again, we're talking about how we're changing the way things are with the figures and what they are able to do. So what accessories would you go with? If you were gonna, let's say you're gonna do a pose, what is the Guy Klender official? Oh, the one I would do on
what's the pose that you officially are gonna do?
I will say I do like one that they had displayed him with, where they had just about all of his accessories, where it's him reading his phone, and he's on the camera and all, playing with the camera and all. I think I would want to utilize the camera.
Yeah.
Because I just think that that's a neat one that we haven't really seen.
I've got a question. Alabama Wyatt wants to know, what would you consider high temp? 80 degrees more in terms of storing this?
Oh, in
in
terms of storing, I think anytime you get over 80, I mean, most people have air conditioning or something like that. I think anytime you get over like the 85, you're in a dangerous position. Okay. You're in a dangerous position.
So try not to have your hot toys at 85 degrees.
Yeah.
If it's getting hot out and you don't have AC, just throw them in the fridge. Do we do that? Is that a thing we do here?
Yeah,
I'm not sure if we've tried the temp test. We can bring in one of those small portable refrigerators.
We'll get a mini fridge. We have one
we
in
could.
the
Well,
studio.
okay then. So next week we will put one in the fridge for you. So,
although it's a little cool in here. Anyway.
It's already.
I
don't think that there's one specific pose I would have him in, because I'm liking a lot of the stuff he comes with. I've always loved the traditional Spider-Man thwip, the 2-finger thumb out.
Joe says you totally unsealed and revealed the thwip out of this figure.
Yes, thank you. Yes, this is also your Spider-Man goes to a Metallica concert pose. If you want to do that, you can do whatever.
Alex has a good question here. Do you recommend placing silica gel packs in the display cabinets?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, they come with your figure inside the packaging. Well, if you're not gonna have them in the package, then that pack is not doing anything. So, and you can buy them. You can buy little packs online. I think it's a good idea.
This is very important too. Do not eat.
Do not eat.
Food.
It's not a dessert topping.
Don't eat the silica gel packets.
But you asked about how long I would leave him in a pose, or what I would do. Would I have a particular museum pose that I would leave him in? I don't think so, because he has the fun ones. I want to try and see how far I could get him crouched down to have the splayed hands. The splayed, crawling hands is a neat thing to get your figure to do.
So you decided, when I asked you that question, that you would skirt the question.
Yeah, I would. Yes. Well, I think that I would just keep doing
answer.
it. I think I would just keep moving him around,
Can't
and that way I don't have to worry about how long I kept him in a dynamic pose.
Oh, look at that. That makes sense. That makes sense. Fine. I'll let it go this time.
So I mean, there's
next time.
The
Next episode.
I have to
an
choose
answer
one.
To stick with.
Okay, I will choose just one. They're fun. You've got your fist hands, your crawling hands, your web slinger hands, the specialty hand, which is the right hand we talked about for holding that lasso web, and then the 2-finger left hand. He's neat. He's a neat guy. The character, as he's appeared in the newer renditions, is as an anti-hero. So if you have Daredevil, these two would look pretty darn neat next to each other, and they exist in the same world. So be kind of fun.
Yeah, I think that they actually would go very good. I'm very excited. I said next episode.
Yeah.
Guy, you're gonna have to commit to a pose, and we're gonna be very lucky. First off,
yes, we will
commit.
Super
This is the
excited.
first announcement of the next episode.
I know
already.
this is the first time I've ever announced a new episode. First off, excellent job on the Hot Toys Scarlet Spider. I really love watching you do this. I'm excited to be doing this again with you on Monday afternoon at 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, in which we are going to do the Sideshow Collectibles 6-scale.
I know, Hot Toys.
It is
It's
Hot Toys.
yeah.
It's Hot Toys. Why do I always
Here,
get
let me
this
show
one?
you. Here you
Here's
go.
the thing.
It's right there.
Oh, you know what I saw where it said Sideshow?
On
The website.
Yeah.
I saw it on the website. I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. The Hot Toys 6-scale Batman. It's the Batfleck. It looks. I'm looking at it on the website. It looks absolutely fantastic. Really excited to get this sucker out of a box and onto that display, and to have Guy commit to a pose.
Commit to posing.
So don't forget to check that out. That'll be on Monday at 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Guy, thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for letting me come in and play. This is always a blast.
We always love you having here. I have to put you on retainer, get you here playing with toys the whole time.
But,
huh?
Love you having here.
Love having you here? It's
Yeah.
fine. I'm going to be 100% honest with you.
Melody's
said a
here to
lot of
keep you
words
on
today.
track. Yes.
I did not sleep a lot last night, and I've said a lot of words today. I've recorded a lot of things.
You should
I'm
have.
glad to be back. Autumn, thank you so much for
welcome.
handling everything. Don't forget too, this is a fully interactive show. If you are if you're watching this after it's gone live, join us live. You can ask questions, give comments, raise concerns. There won't be any concerns, but if you have any, you can raise them. Autumn will be the one there to handle those, deal with them there. She will give Guy your demands, your posing demands.
List of demands.
She'll do that, and I will be there to just generally be in the way. So thank you so much. Appreciate all of the Wonderfield. I appreciate all of Wonderfield. Look, here's the deal,
His
guys.
words are
Okay?
gone. He used them
My
all up.
words are gone. I'm in dynamic posing right now. I'm going out of control. I'm going to see you on Monday. Thank you so much. Thank you, Guy. Thank you, Autumn. Don't forget, everyone, to let your geek side show. Bye. Hey, did you like that video? Be sure to subscribe by clicking the S icon on your screen and click that bell icon to be notified whenever a new video is posted. If you'd like more info on the items featured in this video, click the link provided under Product Info. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to let your geek side show.